But as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night, we will not vanish without a fight, we're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
It's not true. It doesn't matter what's true. It matters the story they tell when you're gone.
I keep on pushing down my gypsy road.
All right. It's a Wednesday, and I already see Carla. She says she's early. You're never early for us. Never early. You can see that we got 4 people today. We got Connor right on top. We got Journey to the Other Side beneath me. We got the famous Dr. Wu that everybody wants a personal voodoo doll of. So I still got the voodoo doll of Dr. Wu. So today we're going to be talking some Matrix, probably add in some Bigfoot, UFOs. Who knows what we're going to talk about? Because this channel, we just talk about whatever we want. But the subject today is Matrix, and the reason the Matrix came up was recently the movie God damn
Free Guy.
Free Guy. I was like, I'm forgetting the name. Free Guy came out, and it kind of like regenerated the thought process of, are we actually living a Matrix? Are we actually living in a game? And watching Free Guy, it's the story almost automatically reminds me of Tron so much. I mean, I like Free Guy. Free Guy was great. It was fun. Of course, Tron is one of my favorites. But there is a lot of people out there say that, man, Free Guy is an original story. Not Free Guy is great, but it's actually not an original story. The Free Guy is basically an updated version of Tron. I mean, that's really what it is. And I'm going to share some pictures here on what do I mean, because some people were trying to argue with me that has nothing to do with Tron. I'm like, no, you're wrong. And there's nothing wrong with movies, taking ideas of another movie, and as long as it's good, it's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's kind of like back in the day when everybody said James Cameron's Avatar was an original movie. No, not really.
Dances with Wolves.
All Avatar is a sci-fi versus Dancing with Wolves. Dancing with Wolves has the exact same storyline as Avatar, but it doesn't mean it's a bad movie. But here, if you look here, and anybody who saw Free Guy, you see the picture here. In Free Guy, you have the bad guy, Antoine. And you have the bad guy in Tron.
He played a vampire series. He was in a vampire series.
Yep. What we do in the shadows.
Yeah.
He wrote that. That's his.
He wrote it. He's the director of it. He's the director. He also directed Jojo Rabbit, Thor Ragnarok. I mean, and he also plays that Rock character.
Yeah, in Deadpool. Korg.
So in Tron and Free Guy, both these guys, they stole the codes. They stole the game codes. I mean, same story. They stole the codes. Okay. Now, when you break down the users, okay, the actress in the Free Guy, her name is Melly. Okay. Kevin Flynn, probably related to Connor Flynn.
Yes,
we could probably replace that with Connor. That's Connor right there.
That game has always been so close to my heart, and then when I've seen the movies, it even took me even further under the spell. And then you see the arcade's name, Flynn's. It's like watching my biography unfold. Watch Tron Legacy and do mushrooms, and you will see a lot of the secrets in this world.
Well, both these movies, they're actually in the game to do what? They want to find the code because they're the ones who created the game. Well, Millie was co-creator with the other guy. We'll bring him up. So Flynn, now back in 1982, there was like no internet. So they used a machine to zap them into the game. Now, nowadays, you just put on earpods or whatever, and you're right into the game. I mean, it's the same thing. They're in the game to find the code.
Yeah.
Exact same story. And then now the main characters, you have a guy named Alan Bradley, who's a user who created Tron to try to find out what's going on in his security system. Basically, Tron is the one who actually, brings down the game. Okay. Now, Keys, when you watch the movie Free Guy, Keys created Guy on purpose. He created Guy because he was in love with Melly. So Guy was a creation of him. I mean, I'm telling you, from line to line, it's identical.
It's identical. It's the same thing.
It's the same.
I watched it. I watched it free. Anyway, I saw it. I was like, oh, this is Tron. Like, everything. They rewrote Tron. Because
the two main characters, Melly and Keys, they created the system to grow, like the birth of AI. Now, if you remember in Tron Legacy, the system was becoming an AI, where in fact they trapped the creator so he could take over and trying to get into the real world. So both these movies are exactly the same, but the question is, it makes you kind of think, right? Are we in a game right now?
Yeah.
Buck, are you getting sucked into a game right now, or are you out there, looking for Bigfoot?
I feel bad for anyone who's playing as me because I can't see the entertainment value.
I'm just saying, set your phone down. It sounds like you're literally getting abducted by aliens and stuff. Keep your phone still, brother. We're hearing a bunch of noise on your.
Yeah.
Now, Carla says Free Guy is a lot like They Live. The sunglasses, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You could bring in They Live, where you put on the sunglasses and you got to see the truth. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah, they did do that, where he puts the sunglasses on his ex to see the extra stuff. And he's like, but nobody else can see it. That's what, and he kissed the girl.
Yeah, the true love really took him past the next level. I pretty much agree with you guys saying this is another Tron remake, pretty much with a bunch of pop culture references. It had Halo, Star Wars, Captain America, and then a bunch of other stuff involved. And really, you guys can rewatch it. I already just rewatched it for a second time this morning, just trying to pick out more Easter eggs, and you get to find a lot of stuff. And I can't wait till like my fourth time rewatching it. It's like Ready Player One.
Well, Long Island Bigfoot wrote, there's a lot of movies that.
So are you guys still getting the weird audio thing?
Yeah.
I'll try rejoining on the computer. So see you soon.
See you in a second.
We always have that problem.
He wrote interchange small things, but in essence, it's the same thing. Yeah, I mean, Radio Player One is about finding the code, about finding the clue to basically control the game, control your own matrix.
Well, it's what it is now. I mean, kind of now, like you've just got the common person going routinely to the cubicle and just waking up one morning and walking outside and looking around saying, this don't fucking look right. Everything looks wrong. Everything feels wrong. Everything is wrong.
Yeah.
You turn on the telly and you're going, this seems like a fucking comic book, man. This don't seem real. There's too many. When I was at the museum, I run around with people that, I'm not going to brag. They all went to college. Big fucking deal. Whoopie-doo. There's tradesmen are just as equal as these assholes. But anyway, whatever's new and current in science was brought up. So we'd have that conversation. Hey, did you hear about they found a new constellation and blah, blah, blah. Really basic information that was floating around. Hey, kind of limited and what, it's kind of cool when it happened. But after 2016, it's daily. We've got a new comic. We've got a new this. I just watched today that what the hell? I was confused. I worked at an aerospace museum, and it turns out that India had sent another rocket ship up last year, and today's like a traditional day. They talk about today they found water. They've established they've found water on the moon. I go, huh? Who found water on the moon? India. India what? India's probe ship that worked with NASA 10 years ago, a decade ago. Huh? Where the fuck did India work with anybody with any space shit? They stole a couple of fucking doctors here and there in the States, so they might have a lot of scientists, but India didn't put no rocket in space. I would have mounted, like you work at a comic book store, I would have mounted the exhibit for it. I said, there's no rocket from no India. Yeah, 10 years ago, they'd launched an original satellite, and it didn't work out. Now they've done a second probe, and they just found water, so it's a buzz. I go, what water? What probe? What are you talking about?
Actually, Bob, we did a show. Remember, Bob, we did a show on astronauts in space and learning that all these countries have been up there. And we're like, when did this happen?
And this is a big buzz in astronomy. And I'm like, water on the moon from who? India. When? What? Where are we living, man?
You would have thought that would have been bigger human news that, they made it to the moon and they found that. Yeah, that's silly crap, man. I find it all very funny. There is water up there, though, because the sky is blue. So, yes, the water above, the water below. I believe the moon is a plasma, so it is all water. So I think maybe the rockets just went in there and went swimming.
The fact that we're having this conversation is telling me bullshit. What is this going on? I don't understand. The common person that woke up like in the video game, like in the movie Freeman, is running around scratching his head, and everyone's just kind of going about their day. There's water on the moon. Oh, India found it. It's not a big deal. It's still, why India, man? He's like Vietnam just launched a rocket to the fucking Mars and they found gold. No big deal. Vietnam found gold on Mars.
What if Thor's right? Thor's right. Well, Nicaragua will have their rockets after NASA gives their space parts from the ice once it's crashed. Look it up.
Maybe. I don't know. Every day there's a whole new history, like this video game that we're in.
This one. Did you hear about the green mask found near pyramid? Just seems weird how many new discoveries being made in the past couple of years.
Did not hear about that. Eric, you're going to have to look that up as part of this video game. I just did a whole video on the Sphinx with all its new rock gates all around it. Never was no any rocks around this fucking Sphinx. Then there's like a Sphinx alley with all these sphinxes are pointed with this long stretch of street. Huh? And then there's like these huge buildings. They're being found all over Egypt. And every time I do my research to find out what the fuck is going on, they just opened it up last year. They didn't allow anybody to go into this space. I go, it don't matter. I would have learned about it in archaeology and Egyptology class. It didn't exist.
Hey, look at this.
But they do exist.
Look at this. I type in the word, right? I type in
green mask found
near pyramid, right? But Bob, look at the first link. A green mask found in pyramid ruins. Comicbook.com.
It says it right there, man. Right there.
I mean, that's the first thing that pops up. Comicbook.com. Can you get better than that?
Thank you for bringing that up. That is amazing. Yeah, why comicbook.com?
A green mask found pyramid has the internet freaking out.
What?
Okay, hey, it reminds me of course, The Mask by Jim Carrey, Loki's mask.
It says it right here. It says it right here.
Powers. So definitely, masks have powers, man. R.L. Stein tried telling us that.
Well, the mask is in this paragraph right here. It only took a matter of days for a haunting mask to go viral on Twitter and see some facts account shared the picture of a serpentine stone mask found in a pyramid in Teotihuacan, whatever, Mexico, and people quickly started comparing the artifact to Jim Carrey's The Mask.
Yeah, it's Loki. Remember Loki? See, everything in movies, everything in the books. Bullshit. Come on.
There it is.
What the fuck is that?
That's awesome. Wow. There is still a lot of treasure out there waiting to be found. So everybody keep your eyes peeled when you're out there hiking and digging and fishing, because stuff like that resides here in America too, because there was kings and queens covered in gold and copper that people had horns.
Well, right here, Taurus is correct. We did, Bob. You guys did a show with dudes from India being in space. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. We did. And it was more of a joke, satire. We made the same comic book references. You know, it's like Mexico. No offense to Mexico. It's a joke. You know, they're having an entire Navy fleet of submarines with the screen door. You know, I mean, anyway, it's a joke. But all of a sudden, tomorrow, we're going to find out about Mexico's submarine fleet. We'll all be going, huh? Let's have a talk about it, and then tomorrow it's going to show up. Here's this mask. Look at this green.
Look, actually, there's two masks, right? Look at this white one.
Sure. Oh, there's another one. Yeah.
And this one, the eyes are popping out.
You know what it looks like? It looks like the Actors Guild. The way it's angled.
Theater of Pain.
The comedy tragedy.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Isn't there an arch? The Romans like to make arches, and somebody was talking about some arch that popped up that no one ever.
There's the mask.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Buck, your audio sounds great now.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think the masks are like the expressions are so drastic because it was designed like if they went somewhere where they didn't speak the same language, the people could understand what they were supposed to be saying.
There it is, the mask.
Wow,
mask.
That's definitely fascinating, and that makes sense too.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
It's also interesting. Look at that. I like this. I'm so far behind Gamertech. I just bought an Atari tennis game.
Flat Rock Booger. Yeah, he's going to be with me on my Squatch Out up in Tennessee up in September 4th and 5th. I'm very excited. Squatching Cowboy, Manimal Research, who is alumni of this show, and Old Bears Den. And I'm really looking forward to it. Blue Eyed Northern is also going to be up there. And then Hidden Relief, Cam and Tristan. It's about to be a blast. Looking forward to it, Flat Rock.
Did they like rent out like all the camp spots or something where they have a certain amount of people, or is it like first come, first get?
It was first come, first get, but then the people that hosted it, they each got like 3 or 4 different campsites, and that holds 5 people. So basically they said, just come on and camp. And then, I reserved my own spot, and Flat Rock reserved his own spot. So we're going to have at least 10 people available right in our 2 connected spots. So it's going to be really cool. But last year's camp out during it, Janice Carter was there, who is really famous in the Bigfoot world. They had Fox, a famous Bigfoot that was on her property, and her grandfather raised it. But she was out there, and they actually had to leave early because the Sasquatch were being so aggressive and wild. And it's pretty crazy to go back and be the follow-up investigation. So is
it federal? Is it a federal park, or is it a state camping park?
I think it's a state park. Yeah, it's on the Oconee River, right where they did the Olympics back in Atlanta. And the Altamaha sea serpent has been spotted in those waters too. So we're going to have our back to the water and then the other side to the forest. So we're going to be surrounded by Bigfoot and sea serpents. It's about to be wild.
The only reason I ask is I got a card where this card here allows me to camp or go to any federal parks with no fees, no nothing.
Hey, it might be a federal one, but you got a spot reserved in mine, so you already got it.
Oh, I didn't realize Dr. Wu was off.
Yeah, Dr. Wu.
I got kicked off.
They're attacking us cyberly. I already feel it.
And I've got a super booster. I've set up I'm talking like super fucking booster. I've got all the bars I need. There ain't no reason for this, man. I don't know why I get kicked off, but
I'll tell you right now why. It's because we got Buck from Journey to the Other Side. He is stirring up waves, guys. If you guys don't follow him on TikTok or Instagram or also YouTube, you definitely have to tap in. He tells great stories. He collects stories from his audience and community, and then he puts together great footage, that he's riled up and piled up all over the internet and different correspondence. And man, he's really making a buzz. And Buck, you're doing your thing. I love it.
Connor is my YouTube wingman.
Heck yeah.
I want to ask you some questions, but let me just tell everybody, if you didn't watch it last night, the Tuesday show was really cool. There's the link for it. We talked about every goddamn thing. We talked about the death worms. We got into some Bigfoot talk, UFO talks, some trimmer talks. So if you guys haven't watched it last night, it was really good. It was just, there's a lot of information. The title of the show didn't even say we talked a lot about Bigfoots and UFOs and all that. So there was a lot of great conversations yesterday. So if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. And then Friday is going to be a paranormal show, and we have a guest coming on. It's first time ever coming on our channel. There's a person called she's a nice paranormal lady named Ned Paranormal.
Cool.
And so she's coming on Friday. She's never been on this channel, and she's gonna talk to us about a lot of her findings on the paranormal spiritual side. So that's gonna be fun. I love, new people are always great because you get to hear new stories that we get to hear before. But just like right now, we got Journey to the Other Side. So let me ask you, do you have a YouTube page?
Yeah, I do.
What's your YouTube page name?
Journey to the Other Side.
I'm going to try to see if I can find it.
That's actually not what my parents named me. That is the YouTube channel name.
The other side. Let me see if I can find it.
That'll be funny when you're at like theme parks and they see you. They'll just hear your voice. They'll be like, Journey to the Other Side. You're going to have that Mr. Ball and, feel to you. People just going to know, man. It's awesome. I hope I'm paving that way too for myself. I already know people are like, what's the heck is that smell from that guy?
This is your channel right here, correct?
Yeah, that's me. Oh, you can compare stat?
So
Eric has the YouTube VIP. He could see all of our personal stuff and insight. It's crazy.
So Journey to the Other Side. So are you with that title? When I read that title, Journey to the Other Side, like I used to be called Journey into the Unknown, where it's about discussing everything. So I'm seeing here that I see Bigfoot videos, and I do see some UFO videos.
Yeah, pretty. I think like I sort everything in my playlist, so probably like 20% of my videos are about Bigfoot, but I cover anything unexplained, just with a bias towards Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
Are you a believer where we all believe in Bigfoot? I haven't actually yet seen one up close, but I know he's real.
Yeah.
But do you feel, because you also do UFOs, and sounds to me you're very open-minded, do you feel that Bigfoot has a connection with the other spiritual stuff like paranormal, UFOs, or do you separate that kind of stuff?
With Bigfoot, I feel like my beliefs shift every 6 months because like you always are getting new information because no one's an expert in Bigfoot. But here's something I found really interesting. I was looking at some of your content before this. I wasn't able to watch it. You said like what state has the most Bigfoot sightings, and it's Washington by like a huge margin.
Oh,
like all per capita. They're also number one in UFO sightings. So I thought that was pretty.
There's definitely a link.
When we looked it up, I think, like I said, it's I guess whatever chart you looked at. According to the chart we looked up, it was saying wasn't it Ohio or Idaho?
I think it was Idaho, and then Ohio was in the top 3.
Yeah, but Ohio was in the top 3. That shocked me. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, the mountains on the ground, and then Lake Erie, man. There's definitely UFO bases over there in the Great Lakes.
Yeah, I think they're more of a northern thing, UFO site, just statistically.
And the guys, this is his link to his YouTube page. So there's the link there. Click on it, check it out, because he's perfect. Because I love when people have more than just one type of videos. Bigfoot, UFOs. I'm really curious.
I just didn't want to run out of ideas, so I opened myself up to everything.
Now this one here, like,
oh, is that
I'm
me?
just gonna. Do I have permission to kind of just show one of them because they're not that long?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna pop the ear. I just don't like my voice on recording.
We all don't like our voice, except for Bob.
Oh no, this one I was wrong in this one. That was when all the UFO like disclosure stuff was coming out. Then it was a nothing burger. Yeah. Yeah, no. It's... oh, you get embarrassed.
I like it. No, it's not embarrassing.
No, just that one because I was just wrong in like my predictions.
Are you? No, I see a skunk ape here. Are you? Do you live in Florida where the skunk ape is famous at?
No, Florida is all Connor's territory. I'm a Jersey boy my whole life.
Jersey boy, okay.
Yeah.
Jersey.
Hey, I was stationed up in Cape May, New Jersey.
Oh, I go to Cape May like every summer. I think I actually see Erie Exit 0.
Now, this is actually how Bigfoot got his name.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
That's the Todd Standing photo. That's a pretty controversial pick if you recognize it, but
Definitely.
I just thought it.
Yeah, go ahead, Buck.
Oh, I was gonna say I just thought it looked cool, so that's why I used it.
Yeah, I love the picture, guys. Todd Standing is a bad guy, though. He's facing some horrible charges right now, so he's a bad man. Yeah, really bad stuff that I heard recently. So
like hoaxing or like actual crime?
Like predator, bad stuff.
Oh, jeez.
Away from Bigfoot, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But he was also a sniper back in the day, and he's had a couple Bigfoot encounters that he like videotaped one running up a hill, and it's definitely authentic, 99%. And then he has other ones of growls that came through a tent. But then he has like 2 or 3 famous ones that they're facial ones, just like that first one. And he was a trained sniper, so he knows how to, remain still for, days. And he used his techniques to get these pictures. But a lot of people say that, they're fraudulent, and he's, taken a little bit of authenticity and then tried to run with it. And now I hope they bury him, under the prison.
Well, look at this picture. He's got a death worm. He's holding a death worm.
Yeah, I don't think that's a real pick. A lot of the time,
that's a death worm. That's a death worm right there. He's holding a death worm.
That's Chaka. That is definitely Chaka from Land of the
Lost.
Oh, yeah. Sleazax.
Yeah, he's fighting Sleazax. No, that's Chaka.
That's Chaka and his death worm.
You got the big forehead like Chaka. He's hanging out with Holly.
Little Patty film because the Bigfoot tracks in 1958 were found in Bluff Creek, and that's actually what inspired them to shoot there.
Let me ask you, dude. When you hear the word Matrix for yourself, do you got any thoughts on? You think that we can, small chance that we're actually living in a Matrix?
So Connor told me this is what we've been talking about. So I'm familiar with the Matrix trilogy. I've seen the first one. The others too. I don't hate myself, so I didn't watch the sequels. But I think it's interesting because this idea that we're in like a fake simulated reality, it's been around since like Plato's Cave, if you're familiar.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like a super new idea. People are saying because of the idea that there's like one base real universe, and then they got to a point where their computers could make a simulation. Then within that simulation, they made their own so on and so forth. I think that's pretty interesting. But personally, I don't know. I prefer to think this is the real world.
Well, it's probably the goal. You're supposed to treat it like it. If you don't treat it like it's a real world, there's a word for that. It's called psychopath. And usually you end up
Solipolism?
Yeah, you end up in jail if you don't. If you stub your toe in this video game, it's gonna hurt. If you commit a crime, you're going to do the time in the video game. Whatever you call it. Yeah, you got to live it.
That's gonna be GTA 6. You have to serve out a 20-year sentence every time you're caught.
Yeah. Hey, I love that you just brought up GTA because Free City in Free Guy is based on Liberty City in GTA 3, which is based on Portland, where Eric and Dr. Wu are somewhat, based out of. If you climb up the mountain in Eric's backyard, you can yell to Portland, of course,
Yeah,
Where's the curve?
No, it takes about 2 hours to get there. Ain't that far. Well, here, I got this video here, and this video is basically, is reality real? And this is what the simulation argument. I thought I'll play a little bit of it, see what we think.
Experience the true nature of the universe unfiltered. Our senses and brains can only process a fraction of the world. So we have to use concepts and tools to learn about the true nature of reality. Technological progress not only widened our knowledge about the universe, it also made us aware of unsettling possibilities. In the future, it might become possible to simulate entire universes. But if this is an option, how can we know that it's not already happened? What if we are not creators, but creations? Is it possible that we are not real and we don't even know it?
Well, first of all, if we are actually in a simulation, I'm already fucking pissed off at the creators of the simulation because I'm tired of waking up with the sore back and Bob, I think I brought it up before, like, why the fuck the simulation can't put me in a paradise?
Well, we know Connor's in a simulation.
now he is.
Yeah, I have my cheap $5 VR that you put your phone into, but man, you can find some really cool 360 videos out there that can take you on a ride. But yeah, taking the next level to the simulation. And I love the Matrix and I love these computer ideas, but my belief is in the creator, the grand creation. I think it goes beyond tech and everything that they could pile up. I think that's already been, seen and thought through. But yeah, I think it's going to go a lot farther because half of our population, I think, are AI right now. And then another 25% just signed up for it. So yeah, I think, Terminator and Tron is coming to life. And my last name's Flynn.
Just signed up for it. Yeah, right.
Now hold on.
Gonna turn it off.
Well, chocolate and cheese. How do you know you're real? You might think you're real because you're programmed to think you're real.
Well, if he can think, he is real. Rene Descartes,
I like that.
Right up on my philosophy before coming here.
Let's see what this says here.
You and Dr. Wu definitely have the philosophy side. Me and Eric are the guys who you just throw in there down in the jungle and we'll come out, 10 pounds heavier and with most of the forest.
Well, let's see what else they say here.
If our current understanding of physics is correct, then it's impossible to simulate the whole universe with its trillions and trillions of things. But we don't actually need to anyway. We only need enough universe to fool the inhabitants of our simulation into thinking that they're real. Who needs billions of galaxies? We only need the space our subjects are allowed to explore.
The vast universe could just be a flat projection, and they would have no way to know.
What about small things like...
So Bob, what do you think of all that so far?
We
don't need everything. You only need bits and pieces to get through it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm mentally ill, so what I think is not relevant, but what is relevant is, it's like a blockchain. Yeah, you guys know what a blockchain is. Originally, the internet was what it is, what they call a blockchain. It's computer to computer to computer. So everybody connects to each other, and that's where we're kind of headed back to for isolationists. I don't know. The universe and the way everything works within the Matrix, it is like a blockchain. Think of other realities like another computer that you're using, like with a blockchain. So the old way of the phone internet. Remember that phone internet when you're not on the web. You're contacting another computer. So you're on another computer, and then that computer calls another computer, and that computer calls another computer in the blockchain. It's the same thing with the internet, or same thing with reality. It's the same thing with the universes. So when you're looking up there, like like Connor would say, that's not nowhere to go. What you're seeing is another blockchain computer with another reality up there, and you're just connecting. We're connecting, which would explain what the Mandela effect is. We're just jumping from computer to computer. There's a change today. I went outside and there's a whole new set of phone boxes. I can't understand what the hell they came from. We just jumped from another computer, another universe, another reality. Boom.
Well, here's something cool that Leonard Node wrote. That matrix graphic of the green falling numbers, talk about like the one behind me, a falling number is supposed to represent the sound waves coming to stars. It's called the cosmic hiss, and it's always there. Astro info that is falling on us.
That's good. Yeah.
I like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice concept.
Flat Rock Booger, come live on my property during hunting season, and you'll wonder if you are in the Matrix. JMO, of course, that's true.
And that's the truth, guys. Everybody check out Flat Rock Booger's page. He has Sasquatch on his property. He has a bunch of cameras set up and kind of like traps entangled out, and man, he's got some good footage. And he showed me some pictures that you could see these creatures that are giant hulking figures, you know, behind the trees, and sometimes they're bold enough to show themselves, and you could hear them literally creaking on his deck in a couple of videos. Very scary, very spooky.
Well, let me ask guys this. What if the Matrix, you know, knows what you like? You know, you guys like the Bigfoot, so the Matrix is gonna decide to let you not say pretend, but see bits and pieces to keep you in line where it wants you to be, because as long as you keep researching Bigfoots and stuff, you're gonna play within the system.
That's the ultimate design. That's the ultimate trap. That's the balance I'm trying to fight against. You know, I'm so for my creator and my soul, but of course there's that other side that's like, oh my gosh, am I a rat in an experiment? And this is all just a little race to the end of the cheese. And you know, every day it's a balance and a thought process. So
you and I have the same exact thing. It's the same thing.
There was a Mandela effect. Maybe it's not or not that Bob discovered in the movie Tron that really wasn't there before, and nobody was saying it until Bob said it. Of course, nobody gives Bob credit for nothing, you know, because you know people steal other people's stuff. But Bob was mentioning when Bob watched Tron a long time ago, was like, when did they ever mention that one of the games he created was called Matrix Blaster? In the movie Tron, one of the games he got stolen from him was a game called Matrix Blaster.
Wow. I'm like, okay, that foreshadowed everything. Everything foreshadows everything else.
Well, I mean, couldn't it also be that the first time it just didn't register because you weren't you don't hear the word Matrix that often?
100%. But we like to have fun on here.
No, that's 100%. That's both sides to it. Either it's a phenomenon or that explains it, because it's just another word at that point, and you maybe wouldn't grasp it.
Yeah, the Mandela effect. I'll believe in some pretty crazy stuff if you check it, but I just can't get behind that one personally.
Yeah, not too many people can. Either you're afflicted with, I got almost like a fucking disease. Either you got it or you don't. Now, I worked at multiple museums. And so I got to actually see things that are just not right. Like, I'm working with physical artifacts that have fucking changed, and I'm like insane for it. I'm like the nut out there considered in the whole fucking Mandela. Don't mess with it. Somebody even made a video that says Robert Wood is a liability. Like, we don't want him hanging out with us. I'm like, the fucking liability, because I see more shit than you cocksucker. Anyway, but yeah, I'm a liability. But not everybody's supposed to. It's not your job. Like in a video, that's why I call it a video. Everybody has a job to do and bring something to the table. And if it's not your job, you don't want to be seeing shit. In other words, I made a joke about my son is in the Navy. He's a corpsman. And thank God he knows where the heart is, because my memory of the heart is, I'm an anthropologist with the university for it, and my memory of the heart is in a different spot. And my memory of a lot of things are in different areas. A lot of body parts are in different spots. And so if my son had the effect, he'd be a horrible doctor. He'd be a horrible corpsman. I would not want to go see a cardiac fucking surgeon if I had a heart problem if he's got the Mandela effect, because he's gonna do it all wrong. Huh? This is in the wrong spot. He's throwing fucking tools. No, I don't want that guy.
Yeah. We like to use Mandela effect for fun because Bob and I have different memories of so many things. It's just
fun.
Eric
and I have split memory.
Okay, here's the question: when do you remember the heart being in a different spot?
Oh, dude, I'm number one. I always tell people. Now, I'm not a schmuck. I'm not one of them guys out there with a page. I went to the University of Washington for anthropology, archaeology. I've studied evolution.
Oh, Dr. Wu is not just a nickname.
Well, yeah, it's Wood Woo. Anyway, so I studied physiology. I studied the limbic system in the human brain. I know it all, and so to see it change in real time made me fucking freak the fuck out. And I try to explain to other people, well, they didn't go to the university for fucking, they don't know what the brain looked like on the inside. They look at the cartoon version. They don't know about the limbic system and the hypochondrias and all the fucking different parts. They're like, what are you talking about? I said, dude, it's completely changed, man. There's holes in our space. Their nerve endings were never there. We have a shell behind our eyes. We used to have used to be open to the brain. You know, when I was in the military, I knew a guy, Special Force, you could take and put your fingers in someone's face and rip their face off because the holes went all the way back to the brain, but now it's completely closed off with the exception of a small nerve. So the skull's completely changed, but without taking the show to a whole new area. Yeah, I saw all of that. I see all of that. And so, but I'm not going crazy with it. As in
not
some
going.
Other people
we're there already.
I actually like what Leonard No kind of wrote. I kind of like it. Mandela is just a welcome mat outside the rabbit hole because it's viewed as harmless. I like that.
Yes.
That makes sense.
It is harmless.
It is harmless.
Like Berenstain or Berenstain. Jif or Jiffy. You know, JC Penny or JC Pennies. Did anybody see that Shazam movie?
Oh yeah, the Shazam one is the weirdest one for me because, like, with the Star Wars, I'd say the Star Wars one's probably the most famous. Luke, that makes sense because, like, you're kind of giving the scene context, and like that's how parodies are gonna. But I have no idea where the Shazam thing came from.
Yeah, it's fun. A lot of them come from, left field, and some might be fan fiction, some might be government plants, some might be our brainwaves, totally flipping wire. That's why I love it. But yeah, I don't dive headfirst into it. But I love entertaining it and thinking that because I know for 1,000,000% it was Berenstain, and now I read it with its Berenstain. But I know how promotions and corporate
May I ask, Journey to the Other Side? What's your first name? I don't want to keep calling you Journey to the Other Side.
Oh, you can just call me Buck.
Buck.
Okay, Buck.
That's just a nick. That's whatever.
Journey to the Other Side is too long.
Yeah.
No. Buck. Now. You talk about how Star Wars is probably one of the most famous ones, and anybody watch the show, I will tell you that you cannot use Star Wars at all in any conversation with Mandela because that movie had just made too many changes due to the director himself. George Lucas made too many changes, even while the movie was at the theater. So it could have been said one way, but he changed it a day later.
Yeah.
So Star Wars is something that just cannot be used. And I try to tell people that, like, Eric, you're just saying it's been noted. George Lucas, while his movie's at the theater, he's made changes. And it just depends on what week you went and saw his movie.
Yeah, and there's different levels of people's memory, what you would have. I mean, literally, you basically have to be almost brain damaged to go as far as some, like, I remember that bright yellow sun from Central Valley, California, and it's white ball. I could look at it. And it's complete. And to me, I worked at an area in exhibits, so I built exhibits to mimic real things. I made fake things like in a video game, but physically made fake things to look real. And so I worked on the universe picture of the universe, and it was a flat pancake, and we were in the Sagittarius area. In fact, they call it Sagittarius arm, but we didn't even call it that. We called it Sagittarius. Whole section on Sagittarius. So in 2016, I went back to work on it, and it said, Orion Spur, you are here, Arrow. And I said, I almost shit myself and ran out of the fucking workplace. I said, who messed with this fucking universe? Well, I did not put this up. Who's playing a joke on me? They're like, what are you talking about, man? I said, where are we? They said, we're in Orion Spur. I said, we're in Sagittarius. What the fuck are you talking about? It was so bad that my workplace had to set me aside. And there was only maybe 3 of us that actually had this memory that I had at the workplace. All 3 of us had to leave the museum because our memories were so old from another place that we all had. There's 3 of us that they acknowledge having it, and we all 3 had to leave. Couldn't do it anymore. We're going crazy.
Yeah,
we moved to a whole new universe.
Well, I
That's
asked you
right here, one of my chapters. Just real quick, Buck. I just want to tell him, smoke at the museum. I had my own freaking encounters at that same place. I went on an 8th grade trip, and we were just trying to, find the giant bones down under. And I don't know if it was Dr. Wu or the ones that were trying to go after him himself. I knew he would have probably took me and showed me, but they were coming after me and my gang, and we got put in timeout for the 8th grade trip because
they hit those.
Yeah, that's why I asked you when you remembered the heart changing, because I always remember because like the Pledge of Allegiance growing up.
Yeah, to the left. Yeah, it was center to the left. You would say center to the left. Yeah,
just because that's like
well, so you got to watch out. Like, Carla said it perfectly here. Yeah, it's like the Mandela. I thought I found it in a film. Labyrinth, turns out what I found was added when it went to DVD. I thought it was Mandela because it definitely wasn't in the original. And that's a good point too, because movies from the theater to DVDs, they do go through changes. Or sometimes you might not realize I got a director's cut here, or I got this cut, I got that cut. Look how many fucking cuts there are at Blade Runner. I mean, there's like 20 different cuts of Blade Runner. So that is true. You do got to watch out. It's a rabbit hole that it's not. I don't think you want to go down any kind of rabbit hole just because.
I stay away from movies. But you remember saluting. You remember putting your hand over your heart. It's not like it's more to the left. It was always to the left a little bit. And then the kidney punch. Do you remember where the kidney punch is? You know what a kidney punch is?
I can infer from context. Believe it or not.
The kidney punch where somebody comes up and gives you a nice big kidney punch. You know where that's at? Where would they punch you?
Isn't that from like behind?
You remember like I remember. That's where the kidney punch was.
Wait, is that not?
It's not anymore. Your kidneys moved underneath your rib cage to the front.
No, because I swear I remember. I was playing a sport and I got slammed from behind with a ball, and everyone's like, "Oh, your kidneys." No,
they're moved in the front, man. There is no kidney punch anymore.
I'll type it in Google. Let me find out.
Yeah, poor guy. He's like, wait a minute.
We're gonna do an on-site dissection. Someone's gonna have to take one for the team.
Yeah. No, the kidney punches no longer exist because it can't exist because they're protected underneath your beautiful new rib cage up in the front. So your stomach moved from where your belly button is up and under the rib cage to the side, and your heart went from the left to solid in the middle, totally re-angled itself.
Well, let's see what Google says here. Okay, here we go. Where is kidney pain felt in the back? Unlike back pain, which usually occurs in the lower back, kidney pain is deeper and higher up the back. The kidneys can be found underneath the rib cage on each side of the spine. Yeah. Pain from the kidney is felt in the sides or in the middle to the upper back, most often under the ribs to the right, left of the spine.
Yeah, they're way up in there. So they used to be down towards the back area. I took physiology. And you would be able to give somebody a nice big, not very hard whack in the back where the kidneys are, and they would hit the ground hard. It's the old kidney punch. But they're well protected. They're way up in there.
Now, Bob, have you been punching people?
I punched many people in the kidney.
Just going down the street, punching someone, didn't complain about kidney pain. Didn't complain about kidney. We got to keep going.
But now it's like you can punch somebody in that kidney area. They have nothing going to happen to them. You're going to get yourself beat up. Don't punch there anymore.
See, Buck, when we grew up, when it was your birthday, you got to run and hide.
Birthday.
You have to run and hide on your birthday because on your birthday, all your friends will find you and they get to hit you that many times as your birthday. So like Bob, what they did for Bob one time was to make it not feel as bad, they put a sleeping bag over him. And then
just take your licks, man.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, like another question is we always say, I don't want to keep going that direct, but we are in a matrix, so it is part of the matrix idea. So do you remember now? I don't like going Bible area, but I'm an expert. I know a lot about it. Most people don't. So don't fucking, if you don't have an answer, don't worry about it. Don't have an answer. It's fine. Do you remember the lion laying with the lamb? Do you remember that? Like in the Uzziah, whatever.
I remember hearing that's a Mandela effect.
Yeah. And you'd be surprised. A lot of people remember it was as the wolf that dwells with the lamb, which is fine. I mean, that's what it is, and it's always been.
Do you know how many Bible translations there are?
Oh, hundreds. That's another argument. That's another Star Wars movie. That's what we call it. That's another Star Wars movie book. You got to be careful because it's changed through translations, hundreds of them. Yeah. However, there are people that remember 100% because they've got their grandmothers, like their grandmother's mother. They've got the same book. I have a cousin that went to prison and had the King James Version and read it in jail over and over again. And then when I told him about the lion and the lamb, and he goes, yeah, and he went right to the page. He knew exactly where it was at. And he's like, stop. And he fucking dropped the book and says, the fuck is wrong with me? And he went back and picked up the book and he went looking in the house. He said, this is my book. I said, what does it say? He goes, where's my lion and the lamb? He goes, there's a wolf in here. He's flipping the page. He's just like,
now see with me, I never read the Bible. So you could have told me that a pig lay with the lamb. I'd be like, okay. Or the cat lay with the lamb. That's cool.
Yeah, you would have to know it. You would have to know. You would have to know your book. You would have to have your own book from your family.
And the lamb had the better ring to it. And that's true too. The lion and the lamb does have a better ring to it. And maybe that's why people are remembering that because everybody says that now, kind of like what Buck says. Well, I know that's a Mandela effect. Now people hear that, they're programming it in their heads. Yeah. And I guarantee, like I said, I never read the Bible, and I guarantee 90% of the people that watch this show have never read the Bible. They're just saying it's lion and the lamb because that's what everybody else is saying.
Well, I mean, also,
now, you read the Bible, Bob. That's different. You read it. But
I was just saying, lions are like featured more in the Bible than wolves. That could be part. Like David killed a lion before fighting Goliath. They call Satan a roaring lion.
Yeah, it's a hard. That's the Bible. Unless you're familiar with, unless that's your cup of tea, I always tell people don't play with that one, man. It's too many ways that if you want to go the debunking route. But back to the Matrix, it just shows more that. There is a group of people like myself that know certain things for a fact. I know Statue of Liberty was on Ellis Island. I mean, you can't take that away from me. It was always on Ellis Island. Now it's on some fucking Freedom Island or whatever on a star fort named after a cousin of ours, Eric's my cousin. But things that have changed, and I go, this is a goddamn video game. There is no way in hell that you can take a statue that big and then move it to a whole different island and then create an entirely new history for it. You feel like you're insane when you hear it. You're like, huh?
It's crazy, but that's what's happening here in America, man. American history and world history is being rewritten. There were people here before the Native Americans that taught them all the medicine and spirituality, and now they're about, they already wiped out the mound builders, and now they're trying to wipe out the Native Americans, getting rid of Cleveland Indians. Next is the Chicago Blackhawks are going to be gone. Washington Redskins, they're out the window. It's really sad, but we're so much more than that. We're collective energy. There was one really cool study done with crossword puzzles in this selective group that they did one experiment. They just did the crossword puzzles and they tested how it was. And then they did another one another day when people already knew the answers on the outside. And they did collectively better because somehow they were able to pick up the brainwaves of everybody else in the world. And it's a really cool study. And I know, my words didn't summarize it 100% perfectly, but connect the dots. We're all connected. And once some people know something, you can tap into that and touch it. And that also can be bad things though, too. If people are being misguided and led into scared tactics, a lot of people can fall into it too.
Well, let me ask you guys this now. No, I'm not a religious person. Everybody knows that. But now, if you are a religious person and you do have the belief of Jesus and God, and he knows he does miracles or magic, whatever you want to call it. So if you believe in all of the spiritual side, Jesus coming back to life from dead, then don't you, in a small way, gotta kind of believe in the effect of changes? Because if you believe in that kind of a magic, why do you believe in this magic and you don't believe in this magic? I'm just saying.
Yeah, it would explain everything.
I believe it could happen. I just don't believe it is.
That's fair. I like that.
Yeah.
Like God could do anything.
And in fact, it's kind of good that a lot of people aren't, because you'd have everybody running around screaming, looking like getting locked up.
No. I kind of agree with Buck. I said it before. It's like, why would God give a shit if the Monopoly guy has glasses or not?
He lost his, lost his.
What is that going to change? Certain ones like, what is that? Now, Bob and I, we used to do shows where we'll take the Mandela effect, and then we'll try to break it down and go back trying to find the origin of why is this even popular? What's even, we found out how Monopoly was stolen from a woman back in the early 1900s.
Yeah, there was foul play.
There's foul play.
It told us like a ghost would hang around and leave a mark, and let you know there was foul play. So there was foul play with the Monopoly game, and I go, "Oh, that's why something happened."
NFL Monopoly.
This is NFL Monopoly from 1999, limited edition. He does not have the glasses in this one.
No,
if you guys didn't know this, I'll just do a fast little thing. What it was is women were not allowed to learn on how to do how to buy real estate. Yeah. And young, poor kids were not allowed to learn how to buy real estate. It was only for the rich. So she made this game to teach people and young people on how to do real estate.
Yeah.
And that's where it came from. It came to help people. And then, of course, this other guy stole her idea and then kind of sold it to Hasbro. But then Hasbro also bought her because her board was the original look of Monopoly, and this other guy who called this game Monopoly had a different kind of a look. So Hasbro bought it from both. And of course, at the end of the day, what you learn is they all sell to the higher bidder, right? She decided to sell to Hasbro. So there's a lot of fun history, and that's what we like to do sometimes with some of these specs, find out, well, if there's a change, what's the history of it? What's the history of the company?
What's the history? Why did it change? What the hell? Is there foul play? It's like a ghost leaving you a message. We're like, holy shit, there's a whole history of foul play with this game.
Chocolate Cheese said maybe people are mistaking him for Mr. Peanut. I think because he has the top hat, maybe just associate the monocle.
Yeah, no, people, and again, what I found out was you're not wrong. The entire history has changed from past to present. It's literally, I have best friends from my workplace, and we were looking at a B-29, and we had a B-29 under plastic wrap. It was wrapped up because we had to close down one of the things at the museum, and they had to wrap it up we had to keep it outside for the elements. It rains in Seattle. So at the end of it in 2017, we had to cut the plastic off. Now, when I was there to put the wrap on, it was a drab green plane, big, beautiful B-29, drab green, military green, all the beautiful had the bottom turret where the guy sat in and everything of a B-29 could be. When we took the plastic off, it was silver and shining, and there was a computer turret at the bottom, and I was like, what is this Buck Rogers thing, man? That's the B-29. I said, no, it's not. It's not the same one I worked on. This is not there's a computerized turret. Like, it goes, and there's nobody inside of it. It's a computer. And he's like, yeah, no. And then we pulled the computerized turret out, and I'm staring at it going, I've never seen such a thing in my life. They're like, what's wrong with you, man? It's always been there. So what are you talking about? There was a dude in the bubble at the bottom of that plane. There was no computerized turret.
Well, see, I like what Carla wrote. I think that's because a lot of Modelos are personal and can't be proven. I personally have seen the event and people changing my life, but I have no way of proving it to others. That's what I told I told on the show, Carlo. I told people Mandela is just a personal thing because nobody has same memories. Because I broke down a lot of stuff. Now the movie Mandela Effect is the worst fucking movie you could ever watch. It's a piece of crap. If you guys, that movie is so bad. They even tried to put a strike on my channel because I put the movie down so bad, and I had to get them forced to take it off. It's that bad of a movie. I actually had a lot of emails sent to me from the company behind Mandela Effect movie saying, well, we don't agree with your review on it, but we did see you didn't play the whole movie, so we'll remove the strike.
How generous.
Connor was talking about that. That's where you have the opposition making fun of people's alternative memories, making movies to make you look like a fool, to make you look stupid and crazy. And they're like, they made an effort to put money into a movie that make you look like a fucking nutball.
They did not put effort in, clearly.
No. They took every single theory and they crammed it down in a single movie where they should have taken one theory, make it where more believable. When you put down too many things where you got this fucking teacher looking like Nelson Mandela, and then it's just like, come on. Now there's a Matrix computer. So now it took a girl dying, took a crazy man, and it just makes everybody look stupid.
Thank God for movies like Free Guy. I like Free Guy because there's people in Hollywood who will have an alternative memory of things, secretly making movies. Like Quentin Tarantino knows that his cigarettes change. Eric, Applejack cigarettes. You remember the Apple cigarettes? The Applejack cigarettes. He had is famous for them, and then it's changed to a different
the trademark in all his movies.
Yeah,
every movie there's a package of cigarettes. It's
changed to a different name of the cigarette, and he knows about it because he made at the end of the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. After all the credits go up, there's a last scene of what's his name? The actor was doing an advertisement for Applejack cigarettes. He was making fun of it, because he knows somewhere within this matrix it's changed its name. People that are diehard fans know that the cigarettes changed in the movie. Huh? That ain't the same cigarettes they've had in all Tarantino's movies. That's a different brand of cigarette. What the fuck is that? But the whole histories had changed all the way up to present. I said, you might have an anchor. Most people have maybe 4 or 5 anchors. That's all you need. Eric remembers we always go back over the Dolly had braces, and I know she had braces from the movie theater.
And what about Dolly the cloned lamb? Does people remember that? I grew up hearing, there was a cloned lamb named Dolly, and they're cloning dogs, and people still want to fight me and say, we're not eating cloned beef every day.
Probably are. We don't know.
Oh, we are.
Is that cost effective though for the companies?
I don't know.
Yeah, just because they can just replicate it, just like copy and paste. At this point, they've been doing it since our grandparents. So I think they've got it down to the 0.0001 cent range. Yeah, and then they're selling it for $1. So they got a pretty big markup.
I mean,
I'm just surprised there's actual meat in McDonald's.
I told people that my memory of Dolly had braces. Now, there could be a great explanation why I think that, but at the end of the day, I still have that memory. I can't just get rid of it. I don't know why. I just remember her having braces. That's why Jaws liked her. Otherwise, she looks like an underage girl. He looks like an old.
It looks bad. It looks bad.
And I think it hits us because Jaws used to live up by Fresno, so he lived in our area. So it was just one of those weird ones.
Well, it's the Matrix again. It's a Matrix glitch. It's what it is for me. It's a Matrix glitch.
And for the comic book fans, guys, the TV show Gotham, the main episode or the main character who plays Penguin, he is one of the main characters in the Mandela Effect movie. So if you like his character in Gotham, who he is incredible, and he's incredible in the movie Accepted as well, he's just wild, then you could see him in Mandela Effect, and hopefully that can get you through the terrible movie.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good enough.
Now, Hero, I saw the movie in the theater. Dolly had braces, but those films were all controlled. The release version can be edited. I think they can do that to sell ads. True.
Yeah, yeah, they can, and you are correct. That's why I tell people you got to be careful with that. But people that have the videotape, they've got it since like they first came out back in like whatever it came out in the 80s, and they've coveted their nerds that have coveted their toys. They go back and put it in. They're like, well, it's gone. They look at their videotape. Nobody came into my house. Then they feel crazy. Then you got to like. That's why we joke about maybe it is a Matrix glitch. Maybe everybody's experiencing.
I kind of like this, Bob. I kind of like this.
Yeah.
They don't need to make anyone look crazy. Mandela people make themselves look crazy.
Yeah, big time. Big time. I always announce, hi, I'm mentally ill because I remember certain things that are different.
But in a lot of ways, Walk the Plank is right, because I used to watch some channels, and there'd be some people saying, I can't believe what's going on. I'm in this rabbit hole. It's freaking me out. I'm like, really? Jiffy is freaking you out? Okay, there's a change. Great. Move on. It's like, it's interesting on why it's changed, but
it throws me off.
Why would you let it make it go crazy? Like be a crazy person losing your mind. Is it really that worth it? I mean,
I like Connor's thing. Connor, you have that on your phone. The symbol. I remember I've been doing the codes. I've been just doing the codes for it. Regardless if it's changed or not, there's fucking codes. You had that on your phone, the symbols. What was it for Saturn?
For Saturn, yeah.
I love that because I've taken that and I've noticed all those symbols showing up in all these different products for Saturn. So there's a lot of astrology being expressed in these changes, either by the company themselves secretly or by whatever this Matrix glitch is going in this paranormal place we live in.
Wait, the planet Saturn or the Roman deity?
Well, that's the thing. We'll take either A, the planet, or B, the deity, because there's a lot of, in this place I've noticed, there's a lot of astrology worship more. And especially with the private elites. They've been doing a lot of secret little astrology. It's symbolism and everything. Look.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's in everything.
You guys will be able to look at full screen once Eric pops back, but you should recognize a few, even with it a little blurry. Valvoline. Pretty much everything worships Saturn that surrounds us. And you guys know me. I love movies and pop culture. But I try not to let it hypnotize me. I try to see through it all and find the 13s.
Yeah.
Eric, could you give me full screen just for a few seconds?
I love that. Those are all symbols for Saturn. And they're in all these products. Why Saturn? Saturnalia. Saturn.
What was he the
StreamYard?
Totally spacing.
It's in everything. So
I see Saturn as Satan, of course, but it's even bigger than Satan because it surrounds us all, but it's also inside of us. So it's not all bad either. But the bad people are using its powers and really just putting it all in our face. That's the same thing with the universe, the globe. The globe is one of the most evil things that we've ever seen in our eyes, and I'm the bad guy when I call it out. It's the same thing with all this Saturn worship.
Well, remember, Kronos.
These companies suck. They have slaves.
Saturn is Kronos. Kronos is Saturn. Saturn is Kronos. And the son of Saturn, the son of Kronos, would be Zeus. And Zeus is Jupiter. And so you would have symbols for Jupiter, the son of, and then Kronos, the father, or everyone's doing all these different names, all these different gods for Saturn. Freaky, man. And I've never seen it ever exposed so much in everything. You see Saturn symbols and everything. You showed a whole. That's probably the tip of the iceberg with Saturn.
Yeah.
Wow. Saturn's everywhere.
Yeah, this French bread pizza, Saturn.
Saturn.
Well, talking about pizza, this is interesting. Have you ever seen Demolition Man? Of course, I have. In the original, they ate out at a Taco Bell because they said Taco Bell won the franchise war in the Demolition Man movie. Now it's Pizza Hut. That's an edit to the film company did to make money from Pizza Hut. Did they change it to Pizza Hut now?
Yeah, probably.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know they changed it. I know.
Yeah.
I just remember Taco Bell won the franchise war, which technically they're owned by Pepsi. So I mean, they are a powerful company.
Well, yeah. To me, that's another effect of a change. It's not so much as what's changed; it's the history behind it has changed.
Then
the whole fucking back history.
Here's a question from Torres: does anyone remember a Masters of the Universe trailer in the early 2000s? I remember the trailer, Duff Lundgren playing.
That was 1987.
1987?
Yeah.
I actually saw one before the Mall Cop in the theater. I don't remember the exact year.
Wow.
Was the trailer live action? Could you, because there's definitely a cartoon around then. So they might have been showing that, but
yeah, and of course there's a new cartoon version done by Kevin Smith that's on Netflix now.
Yeah, see, I got lucky that I had this pillow made, and I always bring it up as an example for me and my peeps that watch my shows. I always had this in the background, and it's time travel pillow. Anyway, I always had it set up where it was green, yellow, red, like the old traffic lights, the way I used to remember. I remember it was green on top, yellow in the middle, and red at the bottom. So I had this pillow set up with the words green, yellow, red, and it switched from yellow to yellow here and green down here. They swapped spots. And that, for me, that's personal. I can't tell anybody, hey, you just got it wrong. Well, of course I got it. But I had it on my show. I always had it in the background of my show. And so I had fans that watch my show go, hey, dude, your fucking colors switched. Oh, yeah, it did switch. Oh, shit. It's a personal one. But a lot of things are personal for each individual. Depends on where you come from. If you're religious, are you spiritual? Do you believe in aliens manipulating everyone's mind and changing things? Are we under attack? Are there reptilians in charge that's changing the frequencies, which is changing the background? Or as people are saying, is it quantum computers, or is it CERN blowing up the planet every time they hit the fucking button? Oh, new one.
Yours could be a house elf that just likes to knit a little bit and just mess with you. But yeah, I'm big on energy and, protons, electrons, neutrons. They're malleable, guys. It's particle form and wave form. So we're not as solid as we think.
Yeah, I think if you observe light, it acts differently than if you don't.
Yup. Of course, the Bigfoot guy can tell you that, because Bigfoot hair, when you put light through it, it will shine all the colors of the rainbow, and it blends in with its background. It is true miracle angel DNA. It would cure everything here, and it blends.
So you think Nephilim?
What was that?
So you think Nephilim then? You said angel DNA.
Yeah, I definitely think there's descendants of Nephilim and just from the sky, because our DNA even is older than this planet itself. So something came from the heavens above, or maybe the extra terras, the other territory. Shout out Juan Torres. He already knows. There's thousands of continents beyond the ice walls, and there's other beings, and the population is probably 10 times, they tell us. And man, all the pyramids align for a reason. There's something more, and there's got to be some extra connection out there, and that's what they're trying to shrink in on us, of course.
Yeah, vibration. Yeah.
I actually do want to ask Buck a Bigfoot question.
Oh shit!
So Buck, in your belief of Bigfoot, I mean, of course, it's all speculation. We're all still trying to learn. Do you feel that Bigfoot, to you, is more of an ancient being that's always kind of pre-existed? Or some people believe that, strange as it sounds, some people believe that Bigfoot was put here by a UFO or from the future or something. When you think of Bigfoot, Buck, do you believe he's just a creature we just haven't been able to find? Or what is Bigfoot to you?
Here's the thing. You hear a lot of stories. This is like even more, this is like, it's to a greater degree with Dogman. But for every story where it seems like Bigfoot is just a natural big creature, like some kind of gorilla, there's another one where I'm like, okay, there has to be some supernatural aspect to it. So I'm really split. Some people think that like at some point the government got a hold and started genetically modifying them. I'm personally more into the like flesh and blood camp, but I think there's something more paranormal going on here.
Yeah. I've even proposed to people as an anthropology that I had this idea that we came from the reptilian. I know it sounds weird. They were first, and we evolved up from them. That big. I know this is
no, because I read some reptilian was like an alternate path evolution.
Yeah, and Bigfoot, because people don't understand that Bigfoot could be reptilian. They're like, what are you talking about? He's hairy like a dog. I said, no, he's covered in a hair. But also, we have evidence now, it just popped up, that dinosaurs were covered in a type of proto-feather. No, not just feathers to fly, but there was a type of feather that they had. I mean, before feathers were feathers, in biology, they were a thin strip. They were like a hair, like a thick-ass hair. And so these reptiles back in the day were covered with this sheen of thin hair, which they evolved into feathers. What if he's a reptilian and you're seeing a brown sheen of feathers? That's why they can't identify the hair. I don't never seen a hair like this. It's the weirdest hair I've ever seen. You hear every Bigfoot guy say it's the weirdest hair I've ever seen.
Okay.
What if it's not a hair?
So do you think Bigfoot lays eggs then?
Well, that's the thing. Now if you go down to
I've never heard of that.
Australia, where you've got marsupials. Now marsupials are the ancient oldest mammalians. That the kangaroo, they have a different type of reproduction system where the baby comes out, it goes into a little bit of a pocket in the belly, or mammals are laying eggs. They lay eggs.
Oh, like a platypus
laying eggs. Why not? There's no evidence. We can't find anything. Why can't they? Are they marsupials? Did they get here? Are they carrying their babies in a pouch?
I definitely think some of the moms adapt pouches because they are the best of the natural world, and birds and kangaroos and a couple other animals definitely have the pouches. And if you look into it, it's natural. It's meant to be. It holds them. It protects them. It keeps them warm. So of course, and there's also people that say in the Patty footage over at Bluff Creek that there's actually a baby on her, and they're big enough that a small baby would actually blend in pretty well, but then add in that it could climb into a pouch or multiple pouches. Boom. That's some crazy stuff.
Well,
I think a couple of these monsters that have been rumored of legend, they probably do come from eggs. I think, the Ocheesee Pond Wild Man and Patty, I think those are more human hybrid types. But definitely these dogmen and frogmen and other strange things, I think there's a chance. But like you're saying, marsupials and other mammals do lay eggs. So yes, there might be a chance.
I mean, it's an idea for you guys as Bigfoot hunters to go to a table, you're sitting around, you're all having a smoke and a drink, and all of a sudden you're kind of feeling weird about it. Hey, what do you guys think about Bigfoot being marsupial? And then have everyone go silent for a second. What the hell are you talking about? I'm just saying. What if they carry their babies in a pouch? That's why they probably carry a baby in a pouch. What do you think of that? See how many people will stop chewing for a second. Never thought about that. That's a new idea. Maybe they're still so old that they're from. Where the transition went from reptile to primate, that one little missing link area, just like the marsupials down in down underland, Australia, the marsupial. What if the Bigfoot is marsupial and we just don't know it? They're running around with their babies in their pouch.
There's this one piece of footage called the Independence Day film. It's pretty decent big footage, no Patty, but you can see it carrying a child in that.
Okay.
Not sure that.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at you got to look at the history of a marsupial because they're hairless. Obviously, they're in the pouch and they don't even come out of the pouch, so they completely cover themselves with protective hair, so they can crawl from the pouch to the chest and to the body. They never leave the female's body. They always stay on. They crawl in the back. They stay on the body. Again, it's probably not, but we're just taking it an extra extra step. We're just like playing with the idea.
What do you say? Platypus and echidna are the only 2 egg layers.
Yeah, the platypus. It's a little vertebrate mammal that lays eggs. They got like a duckbill.
Aren't they venomous too? Which
yeah,
that's
they're like the weirdest animal.
Yeah.
They were actually believed to be a cryptid for a long time because like they have so many different traits.
Yeah,
I remember hearing some odd videos late after midnight about that. But the Independence Day footage that Buck mentioned earlier, I love the Independence Day footage. It's pretty controversial itself because, yeah, it's holding a little baby in a Colorado boulder field. At least that's how I remember it originally being released. Of course, with this Sasquatch footage, things get re-released and hoaxes get put back out. There's been one that it was like Virginia, Jacksonville, Florida, out in Arizona. It's the same like 3 pictures, and they're a joke. And most of the normies will see that, and that's what they think. And that's what we were mentioning earlier. That's that government plant just to make a mockery out of it. But the Independence Day footage, I think it's authentic because I remember when it first came out, you know, and of course I have a little bit of connection to it. And I think I've talked about it on the show in the past. But you could see the baby's head move, and multiple other people say that there's a couple scenes that you can see it's a mask. But, of course, that's what any naysayer will say in the first place. But it's in a boulder field where a lot of the encounters happen because boulders have special electric abilities. And David Plays will tell you that they have a lot to do with people going missing as well, and the Fae.
Where you see it walking it down where the pouch area would be right there. The body could be down in a pouch.
Well, but it looks like the baby leg is right in front of his leg.
It might be in a, well, probably not. We're going to say 99% not, so everyone don't have a conniption. But it could be in a pouch.
Yeah, it starts off, you know, just the mother, and then it sees the person filming, and then it runs over behind a rock, and then picks up the baby. And then, it might place it in the pouch. But either way, it's a juvenile Sasquatch and a mother, and it's pretty clear. Every Independence Day, I think about it. I think about it every day, but I celebrate it every Independence Day.
Here's a good statement. There is so much history that wasn't documented and lasts forever. We will never know or understand our full real history.
Oh,
that's
I know.
True.
Obviously, yeah. Yeah, I think they were just the giants in early antiquity. You talk about the giants. Well, you know, we've got a history of giants now. Big ass Sasquatch.
We will remember who we are when we leave the body. Possible. Just like in my intro, when the guy says, "Doesn't matter what they think of you; it only matters what they write about you."
Yeah,
the only thing you know. The only thing they know is whatever they write.
Yeah,
maybe it stole a snuggle baby tote punch from a computer or camper. Pouch.
Could be. Everybody's saying pouch. Everybody is it in a pouch? Is it in a? We don't know. I don't know. I mean, we don't know.
Hey, Buck, what footage of yours went on TikTok that went viral first? You know, your page blew up, kind of have 500,000 likes, 25,000 followers. Was there one certain Bigfoot footage that you posted that it really just exploded worldwide?
Yeah, there actually was. Like in the early, I don't know how familiar you guys. I know Connor's on TikTok. He lives on my For You page. But I don't know how familiar you guys. It's like 10-second YouTube is basically the best explanation.
Eric has TikTok. He does daily walks and breakdowns. So Eric definitely knows.
Oh yeah,
Eric,
send me a link.
Eric has the intel on D Live, Twitch. He's a guru.
All of them.
He sets up the electronics on people's neighborhood stuff. So you know he knows everything.
Everything.
Yeah, so I just this woman in Southern California, like she DM'd me some footage. I don't even know how she found me. She might have just like looked up Bigfoot in the hashtags. She's like, "Hey, can you take a look at this?" So I did. I made a YouTube video on that. It got some. It's like my second most viewed vid. But then I posted it to TikTok. Didn't think anything of it. Halfway, like a few hours, it had 70 views. So I just went away. later that night, I opened it up. It has 20,000, and it's gaining like 1,000 a minute.
No
and
shit.
right now, right now it's at like 12.8 million views.
Wow, that's awesome.
I'm trying to find it right here.
Oh no, it's one of my first ever videos. So you're gonna like wear your thumbs out.
I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
We'll help it get more views here.
Buck stays pretty active though, guys. Definitely check him out.
Yeah. See 1.8. Up.
Up right here.
Yeah.
Nice. That's so crazy. I remember when this footage like broke through. So you were the one that reported this. That's so cool.
It was sent to me specifically. So like
right there, you can see.
That's my boy Buck, guys.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I thought
looks kind of white a little bit in the face.
Yeah, it has. It has like
Oh shit! Sorry.
No, that's something.
Shit!
You won't understand the other stuff unless you're like on TikTok too much.
Is that a flying person?
That was a Mothman. So there was just this guy who did a trend that said like I've never seen like two girl best friends where both are attractive. So
oh shoot! Sorry.
So I said, which are we more likely to find, like Mothman or two girl best friends where they're both attractive?
That's awesome. I didn't see the numbers on that one. Did that one?
No, that was like my first. That was one of my first ones. So.
Nice.
Yeah. I thought that was a little joke.
Do you do a lot of boots on the ground expeditions as well?
So my issue is I'm in New Jersey, and in addition to like crazy lockdown stuff, if you want to get anything if you want to get the kind of tools you'd want when you're face to face with a Bigfoot, not easy. So
you'll have to hit up Nightmare 365 from our online group, Cryptids and Conspiracies, because they're based out of New Jersey, and then my brother, Long Island Bigfoot, because he's up in Long Island. And everybody that's not in New Jersey and New York, well, there's two sides of the coin. I'm like, dude, it's the same state. And then there's some people that don't even know, the Jets play in New Jersey. People don't even know.
We had a football team back in the 80s with the USFL. That was the the New Jersey Generals.
Yes.
Now, they were America's
Herschel
team.
Walker days.
Yeah. I have a signed copy of Herschel Walker's Basic Training.
Yep. Long Island Bigfoot will get a kick out of that too because he loves my sports knowledge. That's just so random. But one of my dad's friends was actually wide receiver in the USFL, so I grew up idolizing that league, and it was way before my time. So it was just always stories. But yes, I love it, and that's so cool. Thank you, Tom Meir.
I was gonna say the Generals were America's team because Donald Trump owned them. So.
Oh God!
Yes, that's why he was the president. He owned the team. They were America's team.
That's awesome.
He's
George
Biff
Bush
from,
on the Texas Rangers.
He reminds me of the Matrix because he is the Matrix because we talk about because he's Biff from Back to the Future. I'm like he's identical to Biff from the Back of the Future. This guy is 100% Biff.
Yeah, you were talking about, you mentioned George Bush. He was, I think if he didn't go into politics, he wanted to become commissioner of baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he had to sell Texas Rangers to become governor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He wasn't allowed to own.
That's the only reason why he sold the team because he wanted to become governor. You can't be a governor and
did he own the team?
Yeah,
I'm not a huge sports guy.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting that you can't own the franchise and then be the governor, but it makes sense because he could change laws to benefit himself. But that just shows that he was also a billionaire as well. The Bush family goes way back.
Scott Bush. This was never proven, but it happened, but it wasn't proved. Prescott was involved. The business plot back in the 30s. A bunch of super rich guys just wanted to overthrow FDR and install their own government.
Oh, I think I heard of that.
And then they started teaching the kids, and then they infiltrated the Skull and Bones, and they just had renegades going through.
Yeah, well, I'm like Bush. He was probably. I imagine he was at the Eyes Wide Shut party, doing his thing with a mask on, and then someone says, "Hey, dude,
don't need any of these mental images."
You're going to be president, huh? What do you mean I'm going to be president? You get the eyes wide shut party, having whatever way with whatever, whatever. But he's like, oh, then I have to get rid of my baseball team. Shit. I got to pretend like I was in the military, like fake his background and, yeah.
Those 9/11 clips of him are crazy when they start saying words that like have everything to do with it. Man.
So back to big.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying before any of us have a tragic accident.
Yeah.
No one should be a billionaire. I don't know, chocolate and cheese. I think I'd be a good billionaire.
Before Connor ties himself up into a suitcase and then jumps into the lake.
I hope not, but I get scared of the Men in Black all the time, man. But I think they already have us all on hook and sinker.
It's so hot in Florida, you can't walk around in all black. So.
100%.
That's Connor's long term. That's how he stays
them out.
They just get overheated and give up.
Yeah, I hope so.
Bush was at that kid reading girders. They're like saying everything that was going to happen, like right before it happened. And I'm like, I remember watching that a long time ago, going, he never said any of them things, and they were not repeating any of those things. That's a Mandela effect for me. And I'm like, I don't remember any of this footage. I remember him sitting there with an entirely different conversation. The whole thing is different. And I go, now I look back and I go, this whole damn thing is a matrix. The whole damn thing is fake.
I think there's a Mandela effect, like because he was reading to kids, like the book he read or whatever.
Yeah,
changed, but
I'm like, really? I think it was the pet goat. The pet goat. He's reading the pet goat, whatever. And I'm like, and now I think the name's changed. It's not the pet goat anymore. I think it's different. It's a different book now.
I think there's a Mandela effect about the plane at the Pentagon too, because they started to crash. But I never saw it. Never saw any remnants of it. I know what it was.
It was a 747. There was two 747s. I know it for a fact. I worked at the Museum of Flight. It was two 747s, and now it's a 767 and a 757.
No, because there were like 4 planes. Because there was the one that was headed to the White House.
Yeah. So that's a big one for a lot of us that remember 747s. We're like, it was 740. It's like what was that? Less feeling tastes great. I'm like 747s, no 767s, no 747s, 760s. Give up. Who fucking knows?
Definitely a matrix world.
Everything. It's like I give up. It's designed for you to fight. Like I give up. It was 747.
And of course, we're living in such a weird world now. I mean, now you watch the news now, you don't even know what rules or regulations are coming back. I mean,
you don't know the laws. Everything's like there'd be a minor change, and then all of a sudden, it's always been that way, huh? Like we joked about, with India on the moon, the country India going where to the
poorest
moon.
Country on earth. The poorest country on earth can afford to build a ship.
They just have a big wealth divide. They're not like because like you have the super insanely rich, then the really poor people.
Yeah.
You ever seen that $2 billion house in India? It's nuts.
Remember, Israel has their own space program, and I go, no, they don't. No, I worked at Aerospace Museum. I would know if they were at no, Israel has a space program. I said, no, they don't. Not only do they have a space program, they sent a rocket with a rover to the moon. I said, no, they didn't. No, yes, they did. Oh shit, they did. They called bear shit. The name of the name is called bear sheet. It's called bear shit. I go, so now I always tell people in a bar having a drink, I'll make you bet, man. I bet you there's bear shit on the moon. And they're like, shut up, man. I'll take that bet. I go, no, there's bear shit on the moon. Then I'll pull up the article and it shows the name of the craft called bear sheet, and it's on the moon, and it crashed on the moon. It's all over the moon. I said, see, bear sheet's all over the moon. And I win every time with the bet.
I would fight someone if they.
And nobody's ever heard of it. They're like, when did this happen? Like, I told you Israel had a fucking thing on the moon called bear shit.
Yeah, we did a show on that.
Yeah.
And then somebody in the chat was supposed to create a GoFundMe account so we could donate my poop in a bag so NASA could send it to the moon for, have my poop on the moon. But I don't think somebody made me a GoFundMe account. What's up with that?
There are probably all kinds of rules on like organic matter there anyway.
Oh, there is. Yeah, there's a lot of poop on the moon. There's a lot of bags of poop supposedly on the moon because we had Apollo 17, which I'm like, huh? Apollo 17, what? I go, when the fuck did that happen? Well, they played golf on the moon. And I go, they played golf on the moon? I work at an aerospace museum. What do you mean they played golf? Bullshit. There's a picture of a guy launching a golf ball on the moon, an astronaut. I go, holy fuck. He's playing golf on the moon. Huh? When did this happen? Like the 70s or something? And I go, that number one, that golf club has a grip. That grip is on the facing the sun. So if that's facing the sun, it's like holding it into a furnace because it would melt. So that rod would be glowing red from the heat on the moon, and that grip would be melt. And the ball would just go like a marshmallow would just melt. I said, so huh? But how are they launching a ball on the moon? How are they hitting a golf ball on the moon with the temperatures? Don't understand this. Physics are out the window.
Well, Bob, we are in the comic book world because I typed in, is there bear shit on the moon? And then the first article that comes up is Bears on the Moon, Musk versus Bezos, and how Venus became hell in space. Like, what?
We're in a matrix, man.
There's me just holding my head because I'm like, oh my God. They have so many of, these star movies in space. Kubrick filmed the moon landing. Everything they do now is just trying to cover their butt up. I don't want to hear nobody crying about billions of dollars going to Pakistan gender studies if you're not upset about trillions of dollars going to NASA every year. Well, it's a freaking black hole into the Dems' pockets. I got nothing for it.
Well, here's the article. In February, when Israel's Beresheet spacecraft was launched to the moon, it carried not only scientific instruments, but a digitally library of 30 million pages of information, sample of human DNA, and colony of thousands of tardigrades. Beresheet didn't quite make it, crashing on the moon on April 11th. But the spacecraft designer last week announced they believe the library, the DNA, and the tardigrades may have survived. What?
Okay.
Yeah, no, tardigrades survive everything.
Yeah. The DNA survived with negative temperatures in the vacuum. Okay. And plus temperatures and facing the sun, we're talking it would explode into nothing. Fire would come from. What? No.
I see the signature 113 though right there. So.
Yeah, you see it? Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes, you saw that. Okay, there it is. Good call, dude. You got it. There's the 13. That usually tells you that's a source code for the Matrix comic book. So, yeah. That's new to me, Eric. I didn't ever heard of that. I've studied that. We had a whole show on it. This whole article is brand new, so it must have just come out, I guess. How old is the article?
Let's see here. I gotta shrink it. Well, it's on time. Does it have a date on it?
Try the bottom, maybe. I mean, not the very, very bottom of the article.
Yeah.
It has to be pretty recent because it's got Bezos versus Musk, the two.
It's got a correction in there.
Yeah, okay. It's got to be recent. So there's another new fun fact for everybody.
That's weird that there's no date.
Yeah, I used to, major in journalism, and there used to be somewhat integrity in it. Now they just post basically long tweets on there. It's a freaking joke.
Yeah, and this is Time magazine. This is supposed to be top notch.
Well, if Bezos is on there, it's got to be. And there's another. Someone just told me today in Britain here. There's another an arm out there in space. Another found something else. Also, there's a black planet. I'm like, what? Why?
Reaction on the moon on April 11, 2019. Oh, that was a reaction, but
wait, August 12th, 2019. Wow, don't know how we missed it.
Okay.
Yeah,
it just came out. Okay. Yeah, and they're talking about Musk versus Bezos.
Well, they've had their space race for a while.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I think Google had some challenge where if you could land something on the moon, you win like $25 million.
Oh, let me do it. I got a car I can launch tomorrow. Since no cars explode in the vacuum of space, if you know your physics, that would explode, and the packed grease in the fucking and the brakes don't blow up, and the tires don't blow up, and the glass don't explode, and nothing catches fire, and that dash that's made of plastic don't melt. So I want to launch a car into space for $25 million.
I think the launching equipment is the real cost there.
I'm gonna get a big rubber band.
Oh, okay.
Speak.
And he probably got a tax break because it's advertisement for Tesla cars.
Yeah, he got millions of dollars for that. So I always try to remind people that whenever you see Congress people talk and whenever you see anybody in politics talk, always remember that we paid billions of dollars to have him put a car into space. It's not there. It can't pass the physics of being in vacuum of space. And just think of that guy walking out with all that money. And taxpayers' money just in his pocket. Thank you for that beautiful CGI stuff that I just pulled off.
It's a mockery, and I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy for calling out these space fakes. It's a freaking joke. I've had so many of my parents' friends message me like, "Oh, what about these billionaires going to space, Connor?" I'm like, exactly. We already proved NASA wrong. They use harnesses. It's a freaking joke. They use green screens. And then we have these billionaires with literally copied images. I used to make images that look exactly like that in 4th grade, man. Paint. I was on the come up on Microsoft, guys. Like, I saw this. It's not anything.
Well, remember on this show, on this channel, we did a breakdown where that guy, which one? Who? The T-Mobile billionaire. Which one's him?
Branson. Epstein.
Branson. He apparently flew, right? Well, he also filed the paperwork to get pandemic money to pay his workers and stuff. So he requested $500 million worth of pandemic money, but he sure has enough money to fly.
Yeah, he gets pandemic money.
Where's our taxpayers' money going to? We're paying to bail these people out, and then while they're getting bailed out, they're using their money to fly to space.
With
the fucking Matrix comic book world.
You've got the Bezos penis shit, and then you've got the Bronson's vagina shit, and then you got them at the same time. I'm like,
And then you had the globe from the Olympics. It's all a mockery. It's all just Baphomet and Saturn and just crap. And I think it's funny right here. Google can do that because Google knows. Google literally has it as their home screen. All the different domes, the snow globe, the firmament above. They know nobody can go to the freaking moon. Yeah, dude, I'll give you $35 billion if you could go to the moon too. Like it's a bet that I have no problem, putting on the ground. No one's going to the moon. No one's going to prove it. Google has it right there. That's 12 different images that they put during the holidays right in front of our face. So, Google.
I'm not even a flat earther, and I'm like, flat earthers, I ain't going to fight with you guys because they're showing shit that is like, why are you guys showing domes and dome stuff and all your symbolism? What is going on? What is this?
The Disney Kingdom right above it, man. Walt Disney was on the voyages that found the ice wall and the firmament above.
Is that place frozen?
Oh, yeah, he's still frozen. And that's why they released the movie, too. Because when you used to Google, Walt Disney frozen back before the movie, it would come up. Some information would come up. Now it's so drowned out. Elsa and snow, singing snowflies. It's weird stuff now, but it all goes back to a snow globe. The first Pixar movie is about the ends of the earth. Again, I'm fighting Baphomet with this, and people want to call me the bad guy. You're a buffoon. I'm sorry. If you want to fight, not really the flat earth, but if you really think we live on a globe like a ball, please just look into it, please, man, because Australia is not upside down. We can call someone from Australia right now, and they are not answering the phone like this. Hello, Connor. You know, the bunny yip and the yowie are near. Like, no, we're all heaven is up, hell is down for everybody. And Australia is not farther away than hell. You know, like Middle Earth right below us. You know, Adolf Hitler riding Tyrannosaurus Rexes down below us. Yes, but not Australia further below that. That's freaking silly. Like,
wait, so does that imply the Tyrannosaurus Rexes went there? Like, what sins did they commit? That's what I want to know.
No, not to hell, to Middle Earth. With that,
okay,
I know things got a little crazy with that, but there's Middle Earth. That's the subterranean caverns of Earth, hundreds of miles of existence, and then below that is the pits, and you know that goes to Sumerian tablets, the Vikings, pretty much every civilization except for the NASA Nazis. And Operation Paperclip, Werner von Braun, guys. The head Nazi, Werner von Braun, came over and started NASA and then was the head of it. But on his gravestone, he has the dome. So again, I'm using NASA's statistics for my argument. So when people want to buff up, I feel bad, you know, because yes, I'm taking the ball from you, but guess what? I'm giving you the world. This is Earth. Everything you've ever heard is in Earth. We don't have to go light years away, and we're not soup, and we're not accidents. We matter.
Well, yeah. Well, the Bible changed. It used to be heaven on earth. It was like on earth, some on the earth in the scriptures, and now it says in earth. I go in.
Well, that's just in Latin, like in and on are the same words. That could pretty easily be.
I remember the translations. It went from Hebrew, it went from Proto-Arabic to Hebrew, and then when Jesus was around, it was all in. Well, it switched over to Latin, but so I mean, unless it goes back from the early Torah, and even Torah has an original language. It's the Torah now that was like kanji with symbols, and even the symbols have all their numbers, where all the numbers come from. So that's all changed. The whole Bible, everything, all of literature has changed. And for me, I'm like everything's completely changed. I mean,
I think the four of us should get together and figure out how to. If India went to space and stuff, we should. If we send Bigfoot to the moon, I think we'd all be famous here.
If we get all the Bigfoot to stand on each other's shoulders, you know, they're so cool.
That's what they tried to do in the ancient days. Literally, they tried to build the Tower of Babel to reach, you know, the heavens, and it's 73 miles up. Jack and the Beanstalk, Howl's Moving Castle. It's all about that, and it's right there. But God flooded the earth because they were getting close, and then they turned them all to stone. So yeah, it's definitely possible, and there's a lot of cool videos of rockets going up to 73 miles and then just floating there, and then thunder and lightning. Well, thunder is when lightning goes and hits off the dome, and then the reverberation is the thunder. And then look up the farthest lightning bolt, about 75 miles. Like it hit the dome and came back. It's truly amazing. And I'm just trying to, you know, speak God's word. And the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Like heaven is a real physical place. And earth takes shape like clay pressed under a seal. Like, come on, man. That shows it right there. It's a disc, you know. Well, Job tosses a ball in the Bible. They know what a ball is. They never call it a ball. They call it a circle because it is a circle. The Arctic Circle, Antarctica. There's worlds beyond it. Y'all can live on 6 or 7 continents. My existence and our existence, you know, I believe enough for all of us, and I know enough for all of us. And I have faith in enough for all of us that I don't care if everybody stands against me. I am going to say my truth and what my data has led me to, because I feel this. You guys hear it, you know. It's my heartbeat. This is what pushes me. And I know that they got most people fooled, and they make you look like the bad guy when you're speaking some truth. And guess what? I'm taking that challenge, because that's what it's all about, is speaking out and trying to enlighten them people before it's too late.
Well, yeah, you know, or it could be a big ass Matrix game. Like back to the beginning of the show, it's this one big ass simulation. I'm like, because I've worked with people from NASA. I mean, the Museum of Flight, we're part of the NASA thing. No, these guys believe it. There's not. I believed it. Everything's real. The whole stuff. Like, how can you they're not lying. I'm like, I know they're not in on it. They're not part of. So I was a Freemason. They were Freemasons, but we all know that there's nothing in. There's no secret collective behind the curtain with a bunch of frog people. They're really doing it. They're really working on these things. And I'm like, what's going on?
I do want to ask Buck a question. Since we're getting close to the end, I'm playing soccer mom today, taking a lot of kids to volleyball practice. But so Buck, since you're in Jersey, you live in New Jersey. What folklore? What's the version folklore story about the Jersey Devil? Since since you lived in Jersey, what is the story on the Jersey Devil?
Okay, so the official story, there are a few different ones, because we're talking like 300 years old at this point, so obviously stuff gets lost in translation. But the gist of it was Mother Leeds, she had 12 kids, and she was pregnant with the 13th. She was fed up with it. She didn't want any more kids. And she said, let this one be the devil's. And allegedly, like after it was born, a few minutes later, it just like grew wings and like a tail and like the hoof feet and just flew out of the house. And now we see it today. Yeah. Like you know what the Jersey Devil looks like, right? So I'm not.
No.
He's someone.
Eric, put it in. What does the Jersey Devil look like?
Jersey Devil. Okay.
Horse head, hooves, 2 wings, a tail, like the devil kind of style tail.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's the Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
You always hear that one. I'm always like, what the hell is that?
This is what Google has it as.
What's the Jersey Devil?
Yeah, that photo's a fake, but that's
shit.
That's decently close.
Oh wow. And that's supposed to be a picture, right?
Yeah, no, that's not real though. That's like a hoax.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably close because Jersey Devil's like a big dude.
It kind of reminds me of the Goat Man, but it kind of reminds me of the Snallygaster because the Snallygaster is really big over in Maryland, and that's pretty much the same coast. And then also the Chesapeake Bay sea creature, if it went on land, could also be the New Jersey Devil. The Pine Barrens out there are really thick.
Pine Barrens are huge.
The Montauk up in New York,
they
do a lot of testing, and there's been like the Philadelphia experiment. So could be a wide variety of things, but I love it because it's an NHL team, so that's on the first forefront.
Right.
Everybody knows about the New Jersey Devil. It's special.
I don't. Someone said Jersey Devils. I don't think Jersey Devils like some kind of science experiment, just because it's too old for it to have like. I mean, I think the government definitely has tech they're not letting us in on. Even non-conspiracy theorists will agree. Like this was 300 years ago. I don't think they had that level of stuff back then.
So how's the? I don't hear a lot about Bigfoot sightings up in the New Jersey. I heard a lot, of course, New York, upstate. But how's the sites that comes up from New Jersey? Is there a lot of Bigfoot sightings in the New Jersey state?
I wouldn't say a lot. Like we have our own in the Pine Barrens big red eye. He's got red eyes, as you can probably guess. We're not like a hot spot or anything, so that's why I'm not able to do as much field research as I'd like. But we have a lot of ghosts, which is just because we're so old.
The oldest part of the country. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you have all like those Revolutionary War sites and stuff.
I mean, God, I remember going to New York, Jersey. I go to New York every year almost because wife's family's from New York.
Yeah,
and it's just the graveyards up in the East Coast is just amazing. All the graveyards and the statues, how they're made, so much history, so much death. I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all.
A lot of death.
A lot of death.
Yeah, if you're from New Jersey, kind of a step up.
The Jersey, now they kill people. What's the?
There aren't any report. It's not like the Beast of LBL, if you've heard of it. There's a story that in the 80s it wiped out a family. There aren't any stories like that with the Jersey Devil. In like 1 week in 1909, there were 1,000 reported sightings. So I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Napoleon's brother actually claimed to have seen it when he was living in New Jersey after he got exiled. Yeah, he was king of Spain. He was king of, I think, Spain or Naples. He had, I think one brother was king of it, but he was exiled, so he was on his estate in New Jersey and saw it and shot a cannonball at it. It just tanked it and kept flying.
Oh wow, that's incredible. I love hearing stories from like Davy Crockett and all the other, even like Christopher Columbus, horrible guy, but some of the creatures that they encountered is really cool.
Yeah, you mentioned the Snallygaster. I can't remember if he was. I think he was president. Teddy Roosevelt wanted to hunt it himself.
Wow. Teddy's the man. He's written about, of course, Bigfoot on multiple occasions.
Yeah. He's just nuts. I mean, Jimmy Carter saw a UFO.
Yeah, a lot of them they saw UFOs.
That was in Georgia too. I went past the city where it happened.
Oh, really that's cool. Awesome.
It's really close to where the Georgia Guidestones are, which is weird.
Oh yeah, that's if society like collapses or whatever and have to rebuild.
Yep, they said put it down to 500 million, and we're at 7 billion right now. So that would be a huge decrease. But I literally went to the Guidestones trying to warn people about the impending doom, and they didn't listen. So I don't know.
So
I literally went to the place the TV shows were about just to try to get people closer to it.
So everybody in the chat, this is the link to Journey to the Other Side. This is the link to his page.
Much appreciated.
He's got a lot of good stuff on his page. He's got a lot of Bigfoots, mostly Bigfoots. He's got some paranormal stuff here. So check out his site. And if you visit his site, say you found him through us. Let him know.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, man.
Oh, thanks for having me. Absolutely. It's been great.
And then, of course, we all know our good friend Connors. This is his site, Bigfoot. He's got a premiere video tonight. Letters from Family and Friends. Must be such a special letter. He's doing it special tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing premieres, though, just so people can communicate and enjoy themselves during the premiere, and they can talk in the chat. And I also have a big interview tonight with Sean G. from Dark Waters, but it's on his personal page, awesome. Chasing the Truth, and I'm really excited.
Channel?
I've talked to him about like 10 times. On
your channel or his channel?
It's on his personal channel, but he also is hosted by Dark Waters, which I've been on his show multiple times on Dark Waters. But this show in particular tonight is on his personal channel, and I'm honored, to be one of his first major interviews.
Is it channel called Dark Waters?
Yeah, that's Dark Waters. That's what Sean has his weekly show on. And I've been on that show like 5 times probably. And but tonight it's on Sean's personal channel.
Oh, it's personal.
Yeah, but I've been on that one plenty of times. Pretty much every one of his open call ones for the last 3 months I've called into. I've called into like 8 of his open calls. And then he interviewed me on like a 3-hour or 4-hour interview like a couple months ago.
Do you have a link for that so people can see you on there tonight?
Yeah, put a link in.
Yeah, just type in Sean G on the thing. Sean G Chasing the Truth, and that will pop up. You'll see that.
Chasing the Truth.
Make it easy.
And if you scroll down, just one of them, Connor Flynn.
Chasing the Truth, Sean G.
Yeah, but just scroll down one more. Well, you can subscribe to him, but there I am. Yeah.
There it is.
Yay.
Bob's going to give it a thumbs up or thumbs down.
I hope you thumbs up it. We're going to be talking about my new book, Panhandle Pirates. And then I love that logo right there. My new logo is designed by Jack McClellan. I needed something fresh and original and something trademarked, so I'm running with it. And there's my goofy self. I'm really excited.
No, I love this. I love this because last Wednesday when I was playing soccer mom, I was parked I had to stay in a park while they're practicing. I watched your interview with Bigfoot Odyssey. Now tonight, when I sit in that parking lot, I get to watch you on this channel.
Heck yeah. I hope it times up for you. I think this one is a little bit later for me, but I'm
6 p.m. my time.
6 p.m. your time, so 8 p.m. my time. So yeah, it'll be a little later. And it's only about 5 right now. So yeah, I got three hours to chill and get blazed before it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, people in England over here where I'm at, it's a little bit late for us. We're like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Oh, geez. Thanks for hosting this.
I've been trying to send you those Mogion links. One of these times it's going to time up, man.
Yeah.
And then
I really want Eric to hop on that show too. Mogion Monster.
Eventually. He does shows
every Tuesday and Thursday. He has about 80 live viewers pretty much at every moment.
Geez.
So it would be
That's
great.
awesome.
I want to pop in with me and Eric one of these Tuesdays, like yesterday would have been the day. But, everything's just got to time up. But it would be cool because they go literally till 11 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eric's time. But we would pop on for the last 10 minutes and be like, hey, guys, we would appreciate you if you go check out, Horror Talk. And, that'd be fun. But, yeah, Bigfoot Odyssey allowed us, to give our platform. And it was very cool. But, of course, this is Gypsy Road. But everybody on Gypsy Road, check out Horror Talk, too. It's the show that me and Eric host twice a week, and we've been inviting crazy guests. Yesterday, we had Tyler from Bigfoot and the Citizen Scientist podcast, and he's actually been touched by a Sasquatch, and he has recovered evidence of their tree bends, and he actually kept it, and that's why he might be marked. And then we had Stacy Brown on the show, Donnie Miller, and then Long Island Bigfoot Mike, and other legends as well, like Tippa TV. And then the other people that I've introduced, even just in my real life, Dylan, the filmmaker, John, the singer, and then Dan, the podcast host. So I love just spreading the wings.
Yeah, I don't have the link up yet for tomorrow. There is a show tomorrow, guys. I just got to create the link. And then, like I said, on Friday on this channel, we're going to do a paranormal show. We have a guest coming on the paranormal side. I like new guests, listen to the paranormal stuff. It's going to be fun. So, well, guys, beyond that, I guess I got to get going, be a soccer mom, and, got to do my duties. And there's some Connor books.
Yeah, check out my books, guys. Please help me feed myself and my cats. Eerie Swamps, Road Trip to Eden, Monsters and Mysteries Around the Corner, Big Brother Bigfoot, and then Panhandle Pirates just released a few days ago. I got PayPal, Bigfoot Anon, Bigfoot Anon on Cash App. Please, guys. Times really are hard, but I'm going to send a very big thank you out to everybody that has helped me through the Standing Goats Rescue. Donnie Miller took me out recently, and, he was seeing what I was working with, and he put a nice message out there, and a lot of people helped me. I have a new drone now and a new GoPro and a lot of other gear, and I'm very thankful for the kindness of people, because this last few 2 years of our existence has been tough, and you start to question yourself in reality, and you get down. But there's real good surprises out there. Once you walk your path, your needs will be met in abundance. Do it.
On the path.
Well, hopefully we don't watch the news. Yeah. Hopefully we don't watch the news and hear about a Florida man.
You'll hear about Florida man.
Here's a Florida man using his drone, spying on women in houses.
No, I'm gonna be looking for Bigfoot and trying to maybe take some pizzas, and I need to pick up a second job, so it's gonna be like DoorDash, and I'm just gonna drive with my drone, or be delivering to the beach and all these private islands. It'll be awesome, man. I can't wait. But I have to take a test and everything to be legal, and I can't go above 400 feet. So there's a lot of stipulations, but I'm
they
super.
Don't want you hitting the dome. That's
hit the dome. Bing. Come on.
So beyond that, guys, I am going to end it now. I got to get going, but I want to thank Buck. I want to thank Connor, Dr. Wu. I think today was awesome. It was fun. It was great having these conversations. And some of you might thought we went a little crazy on some of the stuff, but it's just all having conversations. And I said this, I'm always going to say this. We are the #1 most open-minded show on social media right here. If you're not open-minded, we don't want you here. If you're open-minded, we want you all here. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to Buck channel. Don't forget to subscribe to Bigfoot channel, Dr. Wu's channel. Don't forget to subscribe to anybody's channel. We all need to support each other. That's how it works here. We're all family. So beyond that, I'll see you guys all later.